Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're diving into looping statements in C#. In C#, a loop is a way to repeat a block of code multiple times. The main types of loops are for, while, do while, and foreach. The for loop repeats a block of code using a counter variable. This loop uses a variable like I to keep track of how many times the code has run. It includes three parts: initialization, condition check, and increment. First, we set a starting value. Then we check a condition, and after every loop, we update the counter. Ideal for fixed iterations or looping through array lengths. When we know how many times to repeat, like looping 5 times or going through an array, the for loop is a perfect choice. The syntax starts with 3 parts inside parentheses: initializer, condition, and increment. Then comes the loop body enclosed in curly braces. Let's understand this flow using a diagram. We start with initialization. Then we check the condition. If it's true, we enter the loop body and run the statements. After that, we increment the counter and go back to check the condition again. This continues until the condition becomes false. Let's take a simple example. We start by declaring a variable I and set it to 0. That's our starting point. Then we check if I is less than 5. This is the condition that controls the loop. If the condition is true, the loop will run. After each run, I++ increases the value of I by 1. You can think of this loop as saying, keep going as long as I is less than 5. This line is the action of the loop. Each time the loop runs, it prints the word number, followed by the current value of I. So, the output will be number 0, number 1, number 2, and so on up to number 4. Okay, now let's walk through this code manually, one line at a time. Or dry run for this example. Let's start the loop. We declare I is equal to 0. Is 0 less than 5? Yes. So we go inside the loop and print number 0. Then go in for loop statement there is I++. It means we increment I with 1. Now I become 1. Check again. Is I less than 5? Yes. 1 is less than 5. Print number 1. Now I becomes 2. Still less than 5. Yes. Print number 2. Same as iteration 3 and 4. We print number 3, then number 4, and now I becomes 5. Now check, is 5 less than 5? No. The condition is false, so the loop stops. I hope you understand. Now let's learn about the while loop. The while loop runs as long as its condition remains true. It keeps looping again and again, but only if the condition stays true. The condition is checked before the loop body executes. Before running the loop body, it first checks whether the condition is true or not. If the condition is false initially, the loop body won't run. If the condition fails right at the start, the loop never even starts running. The syntax includes the while keyword followed by the condition in parentheses. The loop body comes inside curly braces. Let's understand this flow using a diagram. We start with initialization. First, the condition is checked. If it is true, we enter the loop body. After executing the body, we go back and check the condition again. This continues until the condition becomes false. If the condition is false at the start, the loop body does not run at all. Let's see example. In the example, we start with a number set to 0. The condition checks if the number is less than 5. Since it is true, the loop runs. After each run, the number is increased by 1. This happens 5 times. Once for 0, once for 1, once for 2, once for 3, and once for 4. And then the loop stops because of condition turns false. Check the output. Print till the condition is false. Let's talk about do while loop. The do while loop executes the block at least once. Even if the condition is false, the loop runs the body one time. The condition is evaluated after the loop body runs. The key difference is that it checks the condition only after running the code block. Useful when code must execute before checking the condition. It's best to use when you want the code to run first, and only then decide whether to repeat it. Let's go over the syntax. The do keyword comes first, followed by the loop body in curly braces. Then we write while with the condition and a semicolon. Now understand this with the help of a flowchart. We start by running the loop body. Then we check the condition. If it is true, we go back and run the loop again. If it is false, we exit the loop. So the body always runs at least once. The loop starts with I is equal to 0. The code inside runs first before the condition is checked. It prints number I, then increments I by 1. This continues as long as I is less than 5. So, it prints numbers from 0 to 4. Even if the condition were false initially, the body would still run once. That's the key feature of a do-while loop. Now talk about for each loop. The for each loop iterates over each item in a collection or string. It goes through one item at a time, whether it's in a list, array, or even a string. No indexing is needed. It works directly with elements. You don't need to write or manage index numbers like I. It picks up each item on its own. Commonly used with arrays, lists, and strings. This loop is perfect when you want to process each element in a group, like printing all items in a list or all characters in a word. The syntax starts with the keyword foreach, followed by the data type and a variable to store each item. Then we mention the collection, and finally the loop body inside curly braces. Here's a simple flowchart that explains how it works. We start with the first element of the collection. We run the loop body using that element. Then we move to the next element and repeat. This continues until all elements have been used. Let's see the example. In this example, we're looping through the string hello. The foreach loop goes through the string one character at a time. First it prints H, then E, and so on. This makes foreach useful for both collections and strings when we want to work with each element individually. That's a wrap on loops. See you in the next one. Thank you for watching today's tutorial. If it was helpful, please like and subscribe for more C# content.